I I don't even know what button I pressed, but I accidentally ended it, so I guess it's technically two parts. Um, so you have the chariot. And the chariot is important. Like when you have the two horses, I don't even know where to put my cards anymore. Because you have two horses in the front, and then the back they say it's like divine guidance, and it could be whatever is guiding you towards this direction. Um, Needless to say, it's important for the horses to go in the same direction because you can't just veer off into different directions. You're going to break the chariot carriage. And there's also a thing where, oh, a dog has four legs, but it goes one direction. And with the dog being like the loyal type, to if you're going to go this direction, it's a full-on commitment to this direction. Like it's not really, you can't go back from this in a way. I'm not saying you can't like go back to maybe an old thing, but this seems like since it's in the major arcana, it's a drastic change that's going to change a lot. It's like the butterfly effect. It's going to change one thing after another. And when I say like divine guidance, like you also have the Hierophant too, and the Hierophant is more of like a popus or um with the if we're thinking about it in maybe the perspective of the Vatican and the Pope, they say that the Pope is under the dogma of infallibility. So what the Pope essentially says is something that is correct. And um I would I wouldn't keep fighting what it's trying to do. Like if the chariot is trying to go this direction, I wouldn't fight it, especially if you don't know how to work with the chariot, if you don't know how to drive it. Like you wouldn't really go on a road trip if you don't have your license, if you don't know how to drive. Like if you're thinking about driving a car. And it might be a learning experience, which it is a learning experience because another thing I knew it was going to be like a story time. I um so I used to live in one state and then I moved a couple states away. I bought my first car, which I already had a car, but that was given to me. And it was a stick shift, a manual. And it within like the first month of having it, I like moved states. And so it was definitely a learning experience. And um I had to go through like hills. I had to go through New York traffic with this car. So there was like a lot of things that I I did at that time. So with the chariot, I would be like weary and to move forward, I feel with a little bit of caution, but excitement from the Fool card. You also have the Nine of Pentacles too. So this is a really good card because it feels like what you have is already given to you or you've already given to yourself because the Nine of Pentacles is a sustainable card, especially um, in like an entrepreneur type of experience or like an independent person. Um, I feel like you can move forward with this decision. And you also have the Ten of Swords too. something has already been decided, and then you have the Judgment, which it would be the major change. And with the Judgment, it kind of feels like moving from your hometown to somewhere else. And with the Four of Wands is definitely a foundational card. So this might be an area where you set your roots, which would be good because um, you also have the Knight of Coins in your obstacle position because the Knight of Coins likes that stability. Likes consistency, likes familiarity. You're not going to get that, but there are compromises that you'd have to make, especially if you're changing career. There's like this older book, What Color is My Parachute, and it can help determine maybe what type of career you're going to get into. It has been like updated and revised in case you're interested in looking at that. Um, it does involve hard work in this instance, I would say. And sometimes you might have to act like quickly, especially with the Eight of Wands here. So if you're looking for a place, if there is some type of opening, um, that might not be that's like more of a occurrence. Like maybe there's this job position that they don't usually hire often, and people stay there for a long time for specific reasons, then it might be good to move quickly on those things. It's definitely a push or pull. Uh, the Chariot does feel like a learning curve in a way in this reading, as if you're trying to maneuver your way through the journey that you're taking and to even learn how to move the chariot along. Because presently, it does feel like there's a comfort zone that's here with the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups, because there's the Ten of Swords too here, where um, there was a drastic decision, and to kind of go full force with it, it's like you either do or you don't do this. And for some reason, especially with the Eight of Wands, there might be either impatience or a time constraint. Like you have to fit this time slot. And if you don't fit that time slot, you might have to wait a while for the next opening for this. Like if you're going to the DMV to do something with your car and you have to like especially during the COVID times, and I guess we still are, but um a lot more appointments for different things, shorter hours. There's been changes in businesses for sure. Um, to even survive those times. Because sometimes, like, it was hard to stay open, especially with the type of business that you were in. They were forced, like, times where you had to just close, which is not the best. So, but the Nine of Pentacles is in the reading too, so there does seem like a bounce back, or it seems like there's enough to get you there if you are moving. Like you have enough to physically get you there. Yep, the Nine of Pentacles here. And then I have it turned over. the Tarot of Tails, not all of them. So you have another Knight of Coins. So with this going with your obstacle, it's probably a major obstacle because it's like who wants to leave their home, who wants to leave what is familiar and what they love. It's kind of like, why would you do that? And in your mind, it like doesn't make sense, but in the worldly perspective, it makes all the sense. And again, with differences in perspectives in the group setting, um, some other people might not know why you do certain things. Um, some people might gang up on you on those decisions too. They might be like, I can't believe like out of all the choices or things that you had to think about to get to this like decision, like you chose this one over all the decisions. Like it just doesn't make sense in their head. But there's a purpose, and it does look like it's going in the right direction because you have the Six of Wands on this card. Um, and it could be to your interpretation because that card is more like an artist, and it's an artist with their project that they're working on. And then you have the Ace of Cups. This could really be taking a risk, maybe even a blind risk, because the Fool card is in this reading too, on going in this new direction with the Fool card and the Chariot. The final say is the Ten of Swords. I feel like you already made up your mind. It's just a matter of time. When the time comes, when the slot is open, like you're out. So you have the Four of Coins. Four of Coins, it might be that you're saving to do this. Like it feels kind of hefty to like if you're like thinking about it like with the major arcana, there's a couple of major arcana cards here. Like you're ending something with the death card. Like the death card is just like it's not just an everyday thing. Like um something that you've been doing or living in an area for years. It's just about that time. Yep. The squirrel energy might be good too for some people. The squirrel animal totem. And it might be for sustenance too, because I'm thinking about like the squirrels and nuts and how it's like more of a fat source too in some ways. And maybe the area that you're in, you might be malnourished or there might not be enough. So there's not enough like sustenance or something along those lines where you don't have enough there, so you have to go somewhere else. And then it's the Knight of Swords. This is a specific bird because I've seen this bird in person. Very strange to me, not in a bad way. I love animals. I used to live, one of the states I used to live in is Florida. I'm a cold baby. I love the cold, so I didn't, I appreciated it. But I used to take like walks, and Florida is definitely one of those prehistoric areas because a lot of things that have been there since the, again, prehistoric times, like the dinosaurs, some plants like fern, and those are prehistoric plants. These types of birds, I say that they're so ancient because a lot of animals and plants in the environment is so it looks so ancient as if it's been there for a long time. Like the base structure of the that spurred from the Knight of Swords. Because the judgment feels like you're answering to a call, almost like you're answering the judgment of this. The Knight of Swords, it can be really aggressive because um he can be spiteful if he doesn't go for what I suppose it's like a lot of emotional wants. And if he doesn't go for it, there can be kind of like argumentative or angry behavior. I feel like the Knight of Swords is definitely one that has like shark energy where it will strike or the person will strike if it's not if he's not or she's not pursuing what she desires. Also associated with the Gemini too, it's good to have the balance of those things, knowing when to go, knowing when to hold back. Because those are like the aspects within ourselves, also associated with the Lover's card in the Major Arcana. Um, then you have the Seven of Swords and the Emperor. The Seven of Swords is the overall energy, and the Emperor is the how to overcome the obstacle, which is the Knight of Coins, the Knight of Pentacles. With the Emperor card is this it's associated to Aries. I'm saying these signs and take it for what you will. This is a Gemini reading, so just to say, but all the signs are welcome and talking about card associations. So with the Emperor being associated with Aries, Aries being the first sign in the zodiac, it does have the catalyst energy of initiating those things. And when we think about the ram that's associated with Aries, they go to these really dangerous heights, steep areas that they climb where most animals can't thrive or survive. Also reminding me of dandelion energy, with weeds being having those types of characteristics a lot of the time. Those thriving, um, surviving characteristics. Having those features on them, like the hooves, to climb these steep areas and to have a grip. Um, Being able to see a like a 90-degree angle, or there's certain things that they can perceive that make it beneficial for them to be in these areas too, and for them to be natural climbers. For the type of diet that they have too, they go to these specific areas to get that sustenance, or they can survive in these places because of their diet. And there is also maybe the reluctance or stubbornness too from them because they have like a double layer skull, like when they do their thing. So once it kind of feels like once you've made the decision or another person made the decision, it's going to be hard to change that person's mind. And the overall energy is kind of this person kind of feels like there's a getaway plan. Like I need to go. Maybe at that point, because they talk to other people and they're not really getting their point across, and they already made their decision in their heart that they're gonna do this, they're just kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily scheming, but they want it, and there must be a reason like why their soul wants this to this point. Could be like the higher consciousness of like either themselves or like something else that pushes them towards these certain directions, towards an environment, a career, a relationship, or something even more specific than that of what they need to do. In the past, it's the Eight of Swords. Maybe they were getting a lot of opinions, and maybe that's why they're not saying anything anymore. The Eight of Swords, there seems to be an overwhelm, like with all the swords. It could be the types of people that, like, the types of conversations that you have. And it kind of feels like with the antlers linking to communication, and it's kind of more on the primal, going in different directions. There was a sense of confusion to where the person just shut themselves off and kind of, and the types of conversations that they would have, it kind of looks like this person like got backed into a corner. And then it got to a point where I can't, I don't have anywhere else to go. So you guys like better like fucking back off, or I'm just gonna like lash out, or I'm just something that just gives the impression that maybe somebody might snap, or maybe like somebody reached their breaking point or made their decision, and that's that. That's it. But in the end, like again, as I said, in the future, it's like the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, I feel like somehow people are going to get on the same page. Somehow you guys are going to pass this group project, or you're gonna find common ground with this. So just one more card, and it is the Ace of Swords. So this is your breakthrough moment. Something that you said or something that you heard. And maybe it had to be like repetitive too. And maybe like the person just had so much passion or confidence in this, something that they felt so strongly about, um, that what other people said at this point, it's again, they made their choice. There does seem like a lot of conviction in this too. I guess like one more story time. Because as like being in the tarot community in general, or this type of thing, and any other anything in life, like people are going to perceive it in a certain way, um, and maybe I guess technically paganism and stuff. I like to see and learn from different places and beings. It's just something that keeps the spark going. I think it should be exciting when you learn these things. And it does come with those things where people are going to constantly like say, like, you're going to rot in hell, like for the stuff that you do. And then you're kind of thinking, like, what makes my sins worse than yours? Or it, something along the lines of, well, my thinking is, if you don't like what I do, you must like me in some way, because you keep like staying interested in what I do. So you usually put your energy in things that you like, the people that you like. Like if you don't like the person, or you don't like the specific thing, like why are you putting your time in to get to know them? So you there must be something to it. Um, it just comes with the territory. Like when you do something new, or anything that in life that you feel so strongly about, there is usually strong opinions about it too. So I hope this was helpful, and it's exciting to hear. I am glad that you came and watched my video, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.